The main focus of the project is the protection of the rights of persons living with and affected by tuberculosis. So if you read carefully the NTB strategy by WHO, it says that part of the road towards ending TB by 2030 is ensuring that there is a minimum stigma and discrimination, and then the abuse of the rights of persons living with and affected by TB is brought to the barest minimum. So in our journey towards ending TB by 2030, we want to ensure that the rights of all these people are duly protected, so it can all help towards ending the disease by 2030. So part of this also is what we've come to learn and understand is that if people who are affected by TB are marginalized and discriminated against or shied away from, it can actually impede the progress of the healing process. Grassroots organizations such as Stop TB Partnership Ghana are the ones that this grant is meant for, because the focus is to empower these grassroots organizations to address the situation, because that is where it is. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So the challenge facility has been running for some time, and the round 11 is the one that we are implementing right now. So there has been round 1, round 2, round 3, to round 11, which we are in now. To establish sustainable TB advocacy committees at the regional and district levels by March 2024. So the approach that we are using in addressing human rights issues at the grassroots is, first of all, we need to have district, regional, and district advocacy committees. So I'm guessing that you are understanding why you are here today. So objective 1, this objective 2, to build the capacity of the district and regional advocacy committees to promote community-led, right-based, gender-transformative, and accountable TB response in Ghana by March 2024. So March 2024 is where the grant will end. That's why you see March 2024 there. The establishment of the 16 regional TB advocacy committees, which we have also done. That is why you are here today. So over here today, we have Volta, Oti, Greater Accra, Central, Eastern, Western, all represented here as your regional TB advocacy committees. And then we also have the next one, establish 20 district level community TB advocacy and monitoring committees across the 16 regions. So the next thing we'll be doing will be to set up the district advocacy committees, just like how we've set up the regional. But because of the budget restrictions, we can't form as many as we had wanted to. Unfortunately, we can only set up only 20 for now. That is what the project will permit us to do. So that's the next activity. The next one is conduct advocacy capacity training workshop for 112 regional committee members on CRG tools. So this is what we are doing right now. The capacity building for the regional advocacy committee is what we are doing right now. Auntie, comment?
Yes, thank you for the explanation. The district advocacy is that you're coming to form. Will you come from Accra and do it, or is the regional team that will go and do it in the district?
Okay, so actually the original plan is for us to do it like across the country, but we can explore more efficient way of doing it. So we can let the regional advocacy committees support us in the formation of those district committees. So from here we have a plan, but we can have more efficient way of doing it.
So this, you are here now. You are only civil society members of that committee. There is going to be government. Okay, so we are going to get NTP. NTP will write to the Director of Public Health. Director of Public Health will write to the Director General of the Ghana Health Services. Director General will now write to all the regional directors of health services. They will nominate people into this committee. So Greater Accra, you from here, the leader of the group will meet the regional director, have discussions, even before the letter from the Director General will come. And if we have copies of those letters, we'll push it to you, then you use it to enter their office to do a discussion. So then the committee becomes complete after the members of Ghana Health Service join. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, at that level, why are you meeting the regional director? You just want to be sure who, in their view, is efficiently appropriate to join that committee. You will understand the work the committee will do. So when you are engaging at that level, maybe the regional director says, I will be, or let the regional TV focal person be, or let the deputy director, who is actually the head of public health at the region, be. It can be anybody. I hope it makes sense. So it is decided at that level. Now, the same approach will happen at the regional level, at the district level. Now, if you ask regional committee to help do that, it will be because there is no NGO in that district. But for example, if we need to form the district committee at your district, you are there. Why do we need to bring somebody from regional level?
Yeah, Ima, thank you. I want you to clarify the point 6. I can see CRG tools.
Yes.
Yes. Can you clarify?
Yes, those are community rights and gender tools. One of which is One Impact app, which we are going to be learning about today.
It appears for us to know what TB is irrelevant, but I think it's relevant. In that TB is not a static disease. At the point, we thought when you are just merely coughing, that is TB. And then in another forum, we realized that if you skip your medication for some time and care is not taken, it transcends into another level of TB, which is the resistance TB.
Drug resistance.
It's an infectious disease. We have many diseases. Some, if you say it's infectious, it means you can transfer it, give it to somebody who is closer to you. Some diseases, you get it, but either you are born with or something goes wrong with your system, the cells, the body itself, and then you become ill. But for TB, it's infectious. You can transfer it to somebody. Somebody can get it from you. And also you get it from coughing, talking, and sneezing. Then the germ sneeze, singing, anything coming from your mouth or even nose, especially. It's in your respiratory system. The system that helps one to breathe. And the organ for that is the lungs, your lungs. So it affects your lungs. The germ, it's a bacillus, tubercle bacillus that causes it. So when the lungs get irritated, then you cough. So you'll be coughing for a long time. And now, if you cough for more than 2 weeks, we will test the sputum that comes out from your throat to see, we test it in the lab to see if the bacillus is in. And if it is in, the very day that you are diagnosed, you can start you on treatment.
Let me also add this. I think Chairman will remember some years back we were having a workplace policy for CFAO. Chairman. And that was on TV. And Chairman was like, oh, we all have TB as we are in this room. Everybody has TB.
Yes.
And people were like,
Yes.
And then he gave a graphic example that TB can be latent, can be sleeping, it can be dormant, it can be estimated in you. But because you have a strong immune system, you think you don't have. But the way we are confined in this room with the AC on, as I'm speaking, a lot of saliva or vapor is getting into the air, and you are taking it in. And if I have it, sure, you get it too. So it's more advisable that in a confined environment like this, if we can, we should open the window and have the natural air blowing in and blowing out. And everybody was like, oh, if that is the case, then true. We all have TB in the room. And then people were scampering for their handkerchiefs to cover their mouth and stop. So latent TB, let's watch it. We all have it. Once a while. Thank you.
Yeah, Chairman, I think that we are doing the TB. So people didn't take interest in the extrapulmonary TB. The extrapulmonary TB, that's the one that affects any other part of the body. But you will see somebody having wound here, discharging. The wound is not healing, or the foot and the groin. The groin, there will be a groove there that is not ripening, hard. It's all TB. So let us test those people on X-ray, because you will not get it in the, they are not coughing, so you will not get it in the sputum, rather X-ray. So pleural infusion and other things, they are all TB. So if you treat that person with the TB treatment, the wound goes. But if you are not treating that person, you'll be losing some of your cases. Some have both. They have pulmonary and extrapulmonary. So we should look for those things.
For the TB survivors is to actually help in our quest to get more cases, not in terms of getting people to get the what we call it, the disease, but rather those who are hiding in the communities, and because of stigma, they don't want to come out. It is our duty, myself and you, survivor, champion, we have to do that. So, as a committee member, if you have any hint, you know anybody, you have to quickly call the attention of the CSO committee to work. I think that should be a big
In January, before January, I thought TB was something else. We were all talking about infection, this and that. I was run over by a vehicle, and I had a problem with my spinal cord, and the flu. There was erection in the middle of the cord, and the flu was not flowing. So there was a spill, and this spill turned leftwards, just coming right at the back of my shoulders and to my neck. So I had a stiff neck, and I had to complain. Why? I couldn't sleep. So I went to my doctor at Bianpata, and then he took and he said, no, the flu is not flowing. And once it is staying, started somewhere on my left shoulder, I should be careful. That will give me TB.
Okay.
Yeah, just look at how it turned. So until January, I knew TB was something else.
Okay.
But after then I saw that, so I have to search on the internet, reading books and, you know. And you know why I said, what is TB?
Okay.
How I felt earlier is how people feel. But when I had it, I saw that the TB could take another turn. Yes. Because the flu was not flowing. And that brought about the TB. So from this, January until July, I studied more on that, and I had to furiously fight this. And I want us to maybe have another look at other ways where TB, someone can contract TB. That is my main. So it's a point to drive for.
Okay. So
It is contagious, coughing,
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this, but there are other means
Yes.
through which it can travel.
yes.
I'm Augusta Bacon. I'm also a Ghanaian, and I've been supporting Stop TB for the last 2 years. And it's great to be here with you all. I wish I could join in person, but the time was not favorable. But I hope there will be other opportunities. The whole challenge facility is built on community rights and gender approach. And for about 7 years, Stop TB has been using this approach through the challenge facilities to ensure that TB programs, TB services respond to the needs of communities. They are gender transformative and sensitive, and that they protect the rights of persons with TB and affected communities. So that's just a brief background on the presentation. So the discussion is mostly on community rights and gender in TB, what global institutions are doing when it comes to CRG, and what's as communities. So in TB, when we say communities, we mean people who are affected by TB or persons living with TB. Unlike HIV, where we have persons living with HIV, TB, we prefer to say people with TB. So we don't add living because we believe that TB, you can get cured from TB, but then you become a TB survivor and you become part of this community. So unlike communities in our everyday term communities where we live in societies or residential places, when we talk about communities in TB, we are mostly concerned about civil societies, about TB survivors, about people with TB, and others affected by TB. And we'll also be looking at what Stop TB is doing to support CLG. Please, the next slide.
Okay.
So the rationale for CLG. We know that TB has been with us for the longest time, yet every year we are not able to identify all the persons affected by TB. And this is because there are several barriers that the health system is not built to focus on. Some of these barriers are human rights violations, stigma, lack of access to services, and gender-related norms. And we believe that these barriers, even though they may not be the main cause of TB, they prevent people from seeking health care. So this is one of the main reasons why, even we can move to the second slide, this is one of the main reasons why globally we've decided to focus on CRG interventions, because we want to reach the missing persons with TB. And we want to make sure that these persons have a voice. Communities have a voice when it comes to addressing or meeting the needs of persons living with TB. Also, we want to make sure that the rights of persons with TB are protected. And also, we want to make sure that the services we receive are gender focused, they are gender sensitive. So, what we mean by community engagement, communities, is that they have a voice. They are able to participate at all various levels when it comes to issues, when it comes to the national TB response. They shouldn't be the end receivers. They should have a voice in the way services are planned, in how you can access TB services. So at Stop TB, there have been so many tools and guides to help meet and promote the CLG approach. One of it is the TB stigma assessment. Then also we have One Impact, which is a tool for community-led monitoring. We also have the declarations of the rights of persons with TB. Then we have the Deadly Divide reports, 1 and 2, which was developed by communities as a it was developed by communities, and it focuses on how far it provides a community perspective to the achievements of the UNHLM 2018. Yes.
Okay. Please.
I'm sorry about that, but sorry everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there in person.
Okay. Thank you so much, madam. One more time, let's do it for him. Excellent. All right. So, please, if we have any questions or need for further clarification for Madam Augusta, you can kindly put up your hand and then, yes, Madam, comment.
Yes, you realize that children are getting TB more than the adults these days. And most of them to their vulnerable from poor background. Some to their TB HIV at the age of 6. So what are they doing about it? Give them the drug, they can't even take it. So what are they doing about it?
Okay, Madam Augusta.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all right. So we have a question from one of our regional advocacy committee members from the Volta region. So her question is, there's a new trend that they are seeing where we have a lot of children under the age of 15 years also being KVP, some are HIV, and they are from very poor backgrounds. So her question is what Stop TB is doing about that. Some of them are not able to get the stimulus package and taking the medication becomes a challenge. So
I think at Stop TB they have various approaches to meeting the needs of children with TB, but through the challenge facility in other countries, so far we've not gotten any projects or any request for any intervention on children. But in other countries, we are working with children under the ages of 18, and we've realized that we have other projects, CLG projects in other countries that focus on children under the ages of 18. So yes, it's a key problem, especially, yes, it's a key problem now, and we need to study more into that. We need to look at the barriers that would prevent parents from seeking early treatment for their children. And also, there are so many ways we can address this. If Ghana is also in the process of completing their community rights and gender assessment.
yeah.
And also we need to map out our KVPs. And if we are able to do this and identify children as a key priority group, then I believe we can design interventions that will be more suitable for them. So yes, there are so many approaches to doing this. Some have even gone to the extent of giving TPT to children with HIV. So, but there are so many ways we can look at this.
Okay, let's give it up for her one more time.
So then if we are going to be able to change the narrative of how the disease is tackled by the National TB program, we have to develop documentation. We have to gather evidence. And so how can we develop at our own level? What it means is that we need to develop tools for data collection, for this committee to be able to say that, look, after working for 6 months, this is the report, and it shows that this is prevalent. We need to be, the recommendations come. Then we begin to use these as community-led monitoring tools, documents, information that need to be addressed by the National TB program. And for that matter, the government, for that matter, if you are going to another reprogramming or anything, they become documents that you can use to provide as evidence to shape the narrative of the grant.
Advocacy, personally, I think the ability to influence a decision or
Ability to influence decision.
a policymaker to bring about maybe a desired outcome.
Or a policymaker.
Yeah, policy
Yeah, you've taken out the master's class. Explain.
So let's assume there's an issue you want to solve, but then you need to identify the stakeholders. You this sense, maybe the policy makers, let me put it that way. So the stakeholders here are the policy makers. So these are the people we need to target and be able to influence them, to be able to maybe hear lobbying and other things coming in, to be able to get their thoughts into what the change you want to see. Because they are really the leaders, and if they don't buy into what we want to achieve, there's no way we are going to get there.
So we want to make a change. It's as simple as that one. Yes, madam.
So like the issue at stake, it should be above the issue at stake. You should actually know what you are talking about so that you can influence authority.
What are you talking about?
Like we are into TV.
Yes.
And then we want to influence. So we should really know about the subject matter. What really we want to influence in the community or the stakeholders. Know very well about the TB as a disease and know very well the strategies that we will use to influence authority.
So you are talking about capacity, data, information. If we are going to be successful at advocacy, it means we need to read and have a lot of information, take it or leave it. If we are going to be able to work at the region to change policy, to change the way things are happening, to change the way shortages of cartridges is happening, to change the way sputum containers are not available. You don't understand the screening tool and the TB itself. You don't understand what TB is. How long does the treatment take? If you don't know all this, how will you be a good advocate? Madam, is that what you are saying?
Yes, please.
Yes, and to add to that, you don't even know the client or the patient yourself.
You don't even know the patient yourself.
You don't know, I mean, and understand their predicament. How do you go and then talk on their behalf as an advocate?
Good. In fact, that is one of the reasons why CRG is saying that let's add those who have treated TB before to every committee. So that there are times that when the person speaks, you know, when it is time to be angry, sometimes when you want to change policy, it is when you have gone through the thing before you. So that one, it's your life. You can spew out how it was. When you were not sleeping in the night, when you were swallowing the drugs for 1 year, 6 months. You can imagine those who were taking the injection.
Before you can advocate on behalf of something that's really empathetic, put yourself in the shoes of the people.
This is passion. If you don't put yourself in the shoes of people, you cannot. Just have relationship with everybody. Everybody at the health facility. Everybody at the district assembly. It's an intentional relationship. Build it for yourself. Build it for yourself.
To add to what you say, like you normally say, when we get to the bridge, we know how to cross it. It calls for boldness. We should know our stuff and be very articulate. And personal initiative. At times, you will not know when you knock on their door and you enter the office where to start. But when you have that boldness and you enter, at the, on the spot there, you will get something to say. So I say we should be bold to find a way, a personal, intuitive way to ingratiate ourselves into all of them. And once that is done, I think
you nailed it. You nailed it.
Boy,
thank you. We have to be bold and executive. You have to be bold and executive. I think that's a dimension. Your personality counts. I don't go get annoyed with people. You don't get annoyed with people. Who hasn't read about advocacy before? But the reality on the ground is what we need to be talking about now. If you face a challenge, find a way to navigate around it. Take not to know for an answer. Understand the issues and take things diplomatically one after the other. Let's change the system. What is not working in the district, it is for the committee to make sure it works. Omi. Now it's a regional advocacy. So how many districts you have in your region? You'll be surprised. Somebody doesn't know. And then you want to mention the names of the districts in your region, and it is difficult. We are saying that get yourself, think through and equip yourself with a lot of information. The names of the people who matter, their numbers, communicate with them. Don't do it once in a while. Do it regularly until you become friends. And the best way to do it is when you build the relationship into family level. So you take the business out of the business arena and invite the person outside the office.
So yes, HFFG was the first to start the One Impact app here in Ghana, and it has been rolled out for some years now and it's been successfully being used as a community-led monitoring tool. And it's a key component of the work of the regional advocacy committees. So to help us understand the One Impact app, we have Madam Emanuela, my namesake, here in our midst, who is one of the staff members of Hope for Future Generations. Let's please welcome her with a clap. Alright, so Madam Emanuela is going to tell us what the One Impact app is, how it is used. Everybody, we are all going to be downloading it here. So she will take us through how to use it and how we are going to be using it in our work. So Madam Emanuela, thank you so much for being here and over to you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So, when it comes to TB, there are some peculiar challenges to the TB community. I want you to help me mention some of them. Peculiar challenges to the TB community. What are they? Yes. Stigma. Yes, very good. Stigma. And then, is there any other? Stigma.
Family neglect is also.
Family neglect. Okay. Thank you. And
Non-adherence to treatment.
access to health care, non-adherence to health care. There is a tool that can be used by the community members themselves to monitor the challenges that we face and also the quality of services that we receive, the availability of services that we receive, and even information. Information is very key, because once we have the information, once we are empowered, that is when we can be able to do all of these, stand up for ourselves and claim our rights. So as a result of that, the One Impact was born. It's a technology, so every now and then it can be improved upon. So right now what we want to do is that we want to take as many stakeholders as possible through the One Impact, because then when we have a wide coverage and then people using the app, then we can adopt it at national level and use, so that the essence of it can be seen. So now we can all go to, if you use Android phone, you can go to your Play Store right now. Engage as community members. If you have any questions that are bothering you and you want answers to, just type it there and we are at the back end and then we provide answers to your questions. So normally every person on the app can see the question and then everyone can as well respond to the questions. But we have some key people who are knowledgeable in the area that provide answers as well. So overall, this is what the app does. And then this was thought through by Stop TB Partnership Geneva. And they sat together with the developers in India called Duri Technologies to develop this app. So it is not strange to us at all. It is right from Stop TB to us, being used at the global level. To get to know your rights, you can just click on it, on the red box. It should open for you. So the first one says, who can read the first one for me? Let me see if you are following.
Rights of people affected by TB.
Yes. And then, so if you want to know the rights of people, just tap on it. And then it will open for you. So it takes you through all. Right to life, right to dignity, right to health, right to freedom from torture, right to equality and freedom. All the rights you need to know about. This is very informative. Yes, very informative. Tap on the red. Yes, please. But don't go further. When you tap it, let's scroll down. So we mentioned the rights of people affected by TB. Below it, we have the state's obligations to the TB community as well. And then we also have non-state actors' responsibilities. So me and you, CSOs, our responsibilities as well. Then now we have Ghana's constitution, the 1992 constitution, also there for us, chapter 5. So that one is in PDF form. You have to download to open. It doesn't really download, but when you open it, it takes you to exactly. So if you come, there are some plenty buttons on this one. So we can ignore the others now and just focus on the 3 bars at the right hand corner and the bottom right hand corner.
I did 4.
There are 3.
It's 3.
Hey, mine is 4.
Our range. Let's increase it.
See, am I?
Yes, that's so the round thing. This one. So increase it. Now it can only give you options of facilities that are within 10 kilometers. So if you increase it, then you have 50 kilometers away. It can provide you with a list of facilities that are 50 kilometers away from you. So please, are we following? Otherwise, I can always just... Now, the first issue here says barriers to TB health services. Yes. So we can click on it. Now, these are how the questions are formed. Under barriers to TB health services, we have TB services are not available. We'll get there. Let's go through them first. Then second one says, I cannot access TB services. Third one says, the TB services at my health center are not acceptable. And then the fourth one says, the quality of my TB services is not good. Okay. So these are all possible challenges that one can face out there.
So my outline is the background of the whole advocacy committee at the regional level, our goals and objectives, the routine activities we'll be performing, composition of the regional advocacy committee, our duties and responsibilities, and our expected outcome. So as you know, Ghana will operate an integrated health service system. So the district, sub-district, and community level. So you at the regional level, you'll be coordinating all these facilities you need to, because there will be district committees. But at the end of the day, they'll be reporting to you and they'll be supervising your work. So your work cut across all these facilities in the region. And community-based services are provided through the community-based health planning services, the CHIP system. So at times you may go down there to find out what is happening. There may be issues, they may not be able to solve it at the district level. So it will come to your attention and you may have to move to the district level to find solution. Because based on the composition of the committees, you find somebody from Ghana Health Service. They would nominate, but we don't know whether it's the regional director of health. Sometimes when you do the bosses there, they don't get time for meetings. And that makes the committee very efficient and effective. So they will nominate, but we pray and hope we will get a committed regional director of health who will also join committee members to help with the agenda of the advocacy committees in the region. So for purposes of background to continue, for effective and close monitoring of the operation of various implementing partners working closely with these health systems, there's the need for a decentralized advocacy and monitoring system. Sometimes people are working, but we don't even know what they are doing. And there may be, sometimes there are duplication of efforts and double counting. So to prevent that, we want a regional committee that would drive, one, the TB response in the region. We know we always complain about resources in the region, but HIV has managed, and they get some percentage of the district assembly common fund for HIV response. So maybe when we form this TB committees, you can also advocate. I know some of you are already doing that. But I know Uncle Victor, for instance, most of the time when I call him, he does a lot of things on his own, and he knows how to enter the honest and get some resources. So when we come together as a bigger block, we may get more resources and lobby the government or the regional minister, maybe the MP or even the regional minister's focus this time may be in TV. So as time goes on, when we make all the noises, when we have the data and we make all the noises, because if you have the data and you present the data, the person cannot challenge the data. That's why data is very, very key. And we can't do advocacy without monitoring what is being done at the district or even at the district level within the regions. So from time to time, we don't have to be armchair committee members. We have to move beyond our meetings and go to the field to witness what is happening from time to time. So CSOs, Stop TB Partnership Ghana, our NGOs, we are not working alone. We are working with the health facilities. We have other key stakeholders in the region. So our goal is to support them, work in hand in hand with them, and ensure for us to push for resources, mobilize them and come together. When we are big enough and we speak, we force government to take critical decisions in the region. So our objectives are to drive advocacy at the regional level using the community rights agenda through greater collaboration. So collaboration is very key. We can't work alone. Let's work together and let's work with NGOs in our regions that are also pushing the TB agenda. To strengthen the capacity and involvement of CSOs and TB survivors in the national TB response. The TB survivors can tell the story sometimes better than all of us. So let's bring them on board and let them play a very critical role in whatever they are trying to do. Please, this is a dedicated work, so look for someone who can move things, who can, whenever you call it, the person is willing. Not a chairman who will be giving excuses, or because it's a regional director of health, at all costs you have to make him the chairman. Look for a chairman who can push things. CSO, NGO form, then private sector, then academia, or Ministry of Education. So Ministry of Education, you know most of the regions have this school health education program coordination chef. So if you don't get anyone in academia, we can fall on the ministry.
If we also want to engage CCM, country team, we also have to have our tools, which are documents that are evidence of the challenges that are there and the successes we have chalked by piloting A or B, and therefore we want to scale up. So Stop the Partnership on our own, we've been able to get 20 districts. This is the pilot we have done. There is evidence from all the regional directors that yes, this report perfect. We need to push, and then the recommendations from you, it's political. Yeah. You need to write recommendations from the directors themselves into that document. And then when the consultant for community systems strengthening for GC7, GC8 is giving that document, he has an evidence to use to defend why budget must go into.
Because it's coming from the regions.
Yes.
And the regional director of health is supporting.
Okay.
So the success of GC8 and the continuation of our work is dependent on how active all of the committee members or the leadership of the committee will be to be able to allow us to produce some results that we can compile and have a national data that will help expand.
At the national level, direct you that this happening in your region. So go and follow it up. And you have to go to question the activity that is or perceived to be inimical to the national response. You are driving a national response, but even though it's national, you are very strong in your region. So if you declare something in your region, that will not help the national response. It's up to you to bring it up. If you can't solve it, the national body, the head national body, they bring it to chairman's attention. He can deal with NTP and program manager at the national level. So at your first meeting, I expect all of you to put together your work plan and submit a copy to the secretariat. Then your meeting schedule, because that will also help the secretariat in facilitating the meetings at the regional level, logistical support and other support. So finally, this is the expected outcomes we are looking at. As a committee, we provide a platform for service providers and key stakeholders to interact and share ideas, as well as address bottleneck in service delivery.
Just have to keep the communication coming, so that maybe we have to form WhatsApp platform. You know, the committees are not set yet. The committees are not set yet. So it is only the civil society that is set. At the end of the day, we will need to have the representatives from the Ghana Health Service. That must happen before you select the last person. But we want the Ghana Health Service people to be part of this, the discussion to select that person, so that it is participatory. That is the agreement at the validation meeting of all these processes, so that nobody will say, oh, we didn't, how did you get this person? As for civil society, it's our movement. May the hand of God rest upon you. As you travel back home, the Lord be with you. Everybody who came safe is going back safe. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Nice prayer.